What's up, everyone? It's Teddy. Welcome back to the channel. Teddy, aka JamesKisau. This is the JamesKisau channel, in case you didn't know. And this week we're coming back to play more Grixis Control, of course, as we do every Friday, the main series Friday video. And last week, when I was playing Consult the Star Charts, I was kind of wondering aloud, what is the 60th card? If it's not Consult the Star Charts, if it's not Murktide Regent, what really is that 60th card? Because we're leading up to Eternal Weekend. We really want to find a solve for the deck, something that feels really good. And someone in the comments mentioned Ethereal Forager. This card came out way back in Ikoria Commander, and it is adjacent to Murktide Regent in that it is a big blue card with Delve, 4 blue blue. So it actually is one less than Murktide Regent, which is 5 blue blue with Delve. It's a 3/3 with flying, which is not great since that will lose to Lightning Bolt. But whenever this creature attacks, you may return an instant or sorcery card exiled with this creature to its owner's hand, which is very cool. Basically, Murktide Regent gets more power and toughness for each instant and sorcery exiled with it, but Ethereal Forager can potentially get those spells back to your hand. Everything from Force of Will to Lightning Bolt. It's quite a good card. It has never really seen mainstream Legacy play though, since 3/3 is not the biggest creature. Like you can Lightning Bolt it, like I mentioned. It can't block Delver and Win or Dragon's Rage Channeler. Red Blast is always a concern, but none of those cards are super prevalent in the meta right now. The top tempo deck is blue and black, and also a Reanimator deck. So outcarding them has always been the first priority. Well, after not losing to their Reanimator combo, then you want to outcard them because they're very good at efficiently producing threats. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's try Ethereal Forager, see how it does. It's at least worth testing because I've never played it in Grixis Control before, and the Murktide Regent slot was feeling questionable. I'm trying to create more of a through line from week to week in the Friday videos so it's easier to follow along, unless there's like, a release or something, and then you can expect a pretty wild list for the release week video. But the only change between this list and last week's is swapping Consult the Star Charts for Ethereal Forager, and we'll see how the deck feels from there. Now, what else was there? Any other Grixis Control news around the web? Oh yeah, Fish Duggery, who you may know online for their very colorful decks, played Grixis Control in the Showcase qualifier. So shout out Fish Duggery, that's really sweet. I'm feeling the deck pick up a little more momentum. I know we're inching up the MTG Goldfish Legacy meta here and there. I'd still consider the deck underplayed. Like, I think I mentioned this in the How to Play Control video, but I don't consider myself a super exceptional player. So if I can get the results I get with Grixis Control, I'm certain someone else could as well, if not better. But I'm not sure if anyone else is willing to put all the work into the deck that I'm willing to and play countless matches with it. So I will humbly accept that charge and do the research and put it into practice. And this week that brings us to Ethereal Forager. So yeah, if you like the channel, if you like the content, check out the Patreon. I put up an extra league every week there. I also started YouTube membership for the Patreon feed since I had some people give me feedback and say like, oh, I don't like Patreon. So yeah, I set up a YouTube membership program. If you do want that extra league every week, you can sign up for the YouTube membership and it'll be the same feed as the Patreon. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe helps a lot too. We're so close to 2,000 subs. Let's do it. Let's do it for Fair Magic and Legacy. And yeah, let's get in there. All right, let's get this league started. And there it is, Ethereal Forager. I mean, I might have to pitch it to Force, but I also might not. And then I'll get back Cling to Dust and Shieldred's Edict. Opponent's also keeping 7. If this is a Blood Moon deck, I'm going to lead on Mire here and grab a Swamp. But Red Stompy does not usually keep 7. They're trying to do something pretty specific. That's a Polluted Delta. I'm going to guess this is Blue-Black Reanimator just because it's the most common deck out there. But you never know. They also have a Grief Avatar, which was the most famous card in that deck while it was legal. Let's bin that Sculling Tarn. Okay. Getting Lorien revealed back with Ethereal Forager seems kind of good. All the same, it feels a little more likely that I'll be ending up pitching Lorien revealed to Force of Will. Ooh, Underground Mortuary? That's not what I expected. Put a card on top. Must be Storm, maybe? Swamp. Dark Ritual. Necro Dominance. Alright, they might have a Veil of Summer here. I mean, I am going to try and force Necro Dominance, of course. You gotta. Did not expect that to work. They're going to Dark Ritual again. Okay. And play Dauthi Voidwalker. Alright. Let's activate this. And I suppose it wouldn't be insane for this deck to have Wasteland. I don't really want to get Basic Mountain, though. Let's get Badlands. And then Dauthi Voidwalker can come forth. My boy. Alright. Let's Edict it. Even though I'd rather Edict, like, Shieldred or something. This is probably Black Stompy with a option to have fair Necrodominance. I guess Narset's pretty good. I mean, it is tough. Like, I could play Forager and get my Force Will back next turn, but I feel like Narset's just better. I wouldn't have to worry about any further Necrodominances, which sounds very nice. Take Kaito. Although there was definitely an argument to take Ponder as well. Now I'm wishing I let that Necro... Well, no, it would have been pretty bad if Necrodominance resolved, I think. They didn't have an Ancient Cellar spawn out or anything, but all the same. And they'll pass. I wonder if this is Opposition Agent or something like that. Land is not bad. I'll activate Narset. Take Ponder. Play Badlands. I don't want to walk right into Orcish Bowmasters, so let's play Forager here. It's cool to give it some screen time right off the bat. And we'll see if I can get a Force of Will back. Admittedly, kind of a lot has to go right here. They might even have a removal spell. Fatal Push will not work though, which is kind of cool. If they get Shieldred out, I'll definitely want to get Shieldred's Edict back. If they have a Reanimation sub-theme, Cling to Dust is pretty nice. I'll take the land. Am I getting an attack trigger? Oh my god, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Take Force. That's so good. I mean, yeah, maybe Murktide Regent would end the game a little faster, but the card advantage is like, that's so good. I'm damn near considering ninjutsuing, but no, I don't think that's wise. Play Kaito. We'll zero. Do you have Bowmasters? Seems like no. Graveyard, top the Force. Now I can force through a Thoughtseize. They do have Wasteland. Very good to know. A Lotus Petal. I'm dying to know what these green cards are for. It might be like Witherbloom Apprentice, maybe. Make a black. Okay. I might want an additional blue source. Maybe. Let's attack and get this Shieldred Edict back. God, that's so good. It's really nice when you get to show off the absolute ceiling of the card the video is about in the very first game, I must say. Yeah, well, I don't know. Sure, we'll top. These are just kind of cementing a win at this point. Alright, we got there. Ethereal Forager was so good. I wish there were a couple things I'd seen though, like maybe Bowmasters or Ancient Cellar Spawn, Soul Spike, March of Wretched Sorrow. There's just a few cards that I wasn't able to glean. Their hand could have been all Fatal Push. I think that's somewhat likely because they conceded with like 3 cards in hand and they had a lot of mana. Nothing else really makes sense. I didn't give them any Fatal Push targets. They have Fatal Push targets themselves. I'm sure they have probably Shieldred. And Necrodominance doesn't really show up without like Ancient Cellar spawn and stuff like that. Maybe even Hymn to Turok, so we could bring in from the Catacombs. Maybe one Consign. Their creatures are bound to be good, so let's keep Reanimate. And that green mon is also very suspicious. It's either for like Loam Pox, but then I'm not sure they would have Necrodominance available in that package, or like Witherbloom Apprentice and Chain of Smog. So it's hard to fight everything out of this deck. Let's assume that they had Fatal Push. So let's cut Baraglyph. One Thoughtseize. Maybe I actually will not bring in the Consign until we learn more. And then we could cut maybe from the Catacombs on the draw. Well, I think that's actually probably going to be pretty good. It could be one of the Kaitos. Normally it'd be Narset, but if they are a Necrodominance deck, we're definitely going to want access to maybe Narset. I feel like the alerts are a little loud. Opponent's taking a mulligan. I'll keep. Might be a little rough if they Dark Ritual out Opposition Agent. But we still have Ponder and Cling to Dust. They're good on 6. Yeah, it does kind of feel like Dark Ritual Opposition Agent. In which case, we can eventually get a Volcanic Island via that. But I almost want to get Basic Mountain here, because they also showed us Wasteland. I think they'll probably fetch proactively. It's really bad for these Stompy decks to not move forward, yeah. Got our mountain. They're going to Surveil. Ooh, if I lose for not holding up Cling, I guess I would accept that. Lesson learned. Like, we didn't see anything Reanimator adjacent in game 1. They put a card on top and are just chilling with one land. That is incredibly suspicious. It seems like Dark Ritual Opposition Agent. I'm going to cast Ponder. Or Dark Ritual Bowmasters, maybe? Doesn't feel particularly worth it. I'm going to let this happen. I'm not even going to bolt. I just want to land. Let's shuffle. Force Will is also nice. But it's not nice that I would have to pitch Blorian Reveal to do it. Like, that part does not make sense. If they don't play in a more appealing target, though, for Lightning Bolt, I guess I'll bolt this army token. I don't know. Yeah, they're not budging. Huh. Yeah, alright, bolt your army. Hopefully draw a land or blue card. Okay, sure. This does not get a black source, though. So if they do Dark Ritual Opposition Agent, I'll have to force a will, which does suck, but that's just where we are. Yeah, what do you know? Force a will. Feeling a little less safe now. I need to unload these black cards. If they wasteland me, that'd be pretty bad. Bale Bowmaster there. Bowmaster. We're quite up in cards. We got 2 more lands in them. And they only have 1 more card in hand than I do. Like, they probably don't want to rely on Dark Ritual to cast spells for the rest of the game. And there's the Wasteland, so... Wowee. But yeah, they probably maybe don't feel like they can use it. They do have more Bowmasters. What do I draw? Nimble Obstructionist. Yeah, I could protect my red source. I mean my black source by stifling their wasteland. And if they do that proactively, they can send a Bowmaster trigger at my army. So I will want to just attack with this. Really curious what this green mon is all about. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, looks like it was not really necessary. But there's no guarantee I was going to draw that land. Like, let's be real. Activate that. Okay. Bolt your Bowmasters. Cling. Verdant Catacombs, I suppose. From the Catacombs, nice. Even if they thought sees me, that won't matter that much. Talthy Voidwalker would be a little rough. And they did not wasteland me again, so that's also cool. And if they have more Bowmasters, I definitely want those baited out. So let's draw again, just in case they do have Loam via that green mana. Let's wasteland there. Okay. I wonder if I should wait. I don't think so. Hopefully they don't have too Fatal Push. I'll take a Swamp. If they wasteland my Underground Sea, I want to escape from the Catacombs. And if they attack, I think I'll double block. Maybe I'll take Opposition Agent next, if I have that luxury. Sheoldred's Edict, sure. Yeah, if they have another removal spell, they could take the initiative here. Not yet. Looks like we're going to combat. I will happily block. Okay. I suppose we'll do the same turn. I'm gonna go to the Lost Well. Yeah, I want both of these. Swamp. Take some more Bowmasters. Pay for it like this. Then we'll go to the stash. Or, I mean, we could go to the arena if I want to draw an additional card, but I think the 4/1 skeleton is fine. Nothing wrong with a 4/1 skeleton with menace. Agent, you got it. Nurturing Peatland. They'll draw. Put a point on the army token. Alright, we're beginning combat. They'll attack with both. Just make these blocks. Nice. This is going pretty darn well. I'm about to draw Sheoldred's Edict and go to the Catacombs. Love that 4/1. I will cast this again, targeting Opposition Agent. Leaving up a basic swamp so I can't get wastelanded. No, I don't need to leave Cling to Dust in there. I think From the Catacombs is a little bit better than Cling to Dust. And we'll go to Throne of the Dead 3 here. And miss. Tight. God damn it. I mean, I know we don't play like an insane amount of creatures, but we do play like 13 or 14. God damn it. That's so funny. Ah, man. Verdant Catacombs. They could hold priority, activate Verdant Catacombs, and then Fatal Push the Opposition Agent. But until then, if they have a 4-drop stuck in hand, it will stay that way. Alright, cool. Yeah, From the Catacombs is very good in any fair matchup. And even though like this is riding the line of fair, since they have Dark Ritual to power out their plays a lot earlier, if you're able to stabilize via Force of Will, Lightning Bolt, big spells do the trick. And that was a really nice showcase for Ethereal Forager in Game 1. It can really get you some card advantage. Welcome back for round 2. Hand's pretty good. up against Harvey Dent. I believe that's a character in Spider-Man. And we'll probably be getting a magic card pretty soon. Oh, shout out Harvey Dent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Really keeps things going around here. Support from viewers like you. That's what keeps this show on the air. Looks like they're good on 6. They have a City of Traders and a Chalice on 1. I really want to ignore this, but they let on City. Like, it might be hard for them to follow this up in a super meaningful way. And also, like, I need Bolt for, like, what have you. Alright, let's see here. Actually should have done this off like a Badlands. Atraxa and Fable the Mirror Breaker is certainly interesting. Is this show and tell with a Chalice of the Void sub-theme? I'm not ready for a show and tell, that's for sure. Stock up. Very scary. If they hit land show and tell, they can go off next turn. Kaito. I feel like that will be good eventually. But right now, well, things are a bit dicey. Pedal, nothing. Okay. Looks like it wasn't the most successful stock up. Thank the Lord. Cling to Dust. I'll bin that. Not great. Things are tense. They remain tense. I think I probably just have to cast Kaito here. I don't know why I just activated this actually. There's no real reason to fire a bolt right there. I could also cast Ponder and bluff a little bit, but getting a card advantage engine going is pretty important, I think. So that's what we'll do. Plus, see if we can dodge one more turn, and then we can probably start putting things together. Ah, we couldn't dodge. Well, we'll see where this goes at the very least. I have Atraxa, which will reveal City, no Lotus Petal, but there's a Sneak Attack and an Emrakul. So it's not as far off as it seems. They can make a land drop right now. So yeah, they could have Sneak Attack Emrakul next turn. But they wouldn't be able to, like, Mistrise Village as well. Pretty free for them to take this enchantment, though. Oh, they take the Polluted Delta. I find that interesting. They don't take the city. Oh, and yeah, of course, they take Sneak Attack and Lorien Revealed. A cool 7 cards in hand, no big deal. What to do? The draw was bad. Alright, let's tap down Atraxa. Hit for 4. Cast Ponder. Force a Will. I'm just 1 mana short from doing it. I'll take Force, and then maybe I can Cling to Dust into a blue card. Well, that's where we're at. Oh wait, no, I can hardcast it. That's right. I forgot. I got to show and tell land in. We'll grab a land off that Lorien Revealed. I was expecting a soul land there. Fable the Mirror Breaker. I can't afford to care about this. But I will bolt the Shaman. Bolt there. And then we'll draw using Cling. Targeting stock up, I guess. We're also closing in on, like, snapped Force of Will territory. But I have another Force in my hand. Let's just keep the Bolt and the Thoughtseize there. Feels a little more disruptive. Another Force of Will. Okay. And a blue card? I wonder if it's better to just... I don't know what the best thing to do is here. Mana appears to be their gate. Nimble Obstructionist, that's pretty sick. Alright, bin that. Keep Nimble. Pass it back. Fable can loot. Discarding Emrakul and a Chalice. Shuffling all this back into the deck. Sure. They must have a backup Emrakul. Doesn't really make sense otherwise. Stock up. I need to spend my mana. I think I'll happily do this. Alright, cool. I could brainstorm right now before anything else and still hold up Hardcast Force. Edict, Forager. I could Edict, Pitchcast Force, and have Nimble Obstructionist. It's not bad. That also makes Reanimate a pretty hot draw. But also, like, do I need more cards in hand? My mana's already pretty stretched. I could just use Kaito's -2. Although I might want to save that for an Emrakul or something, I don't know. I mean, we can see if this works in the first place. Might not. Oh, goody. Alright, hit for 4. Yeah, do that. They have a response. Should I just stifle this? It's tempting, but no. Okay, it's just a Surveil. Putting Cunning Wish in the graveyard. And then, yeah, I think I'll just bin both of these. Lightning Bolt, okay. I just need to survive one turn here. There's Sneak Attack. Let's go ahead and force. Hopefully they force back. Excellent. So their last 2 cards are Impulse and Sneak Attack. Bolt you. Or sorry, Impulse and presumably a monster for Sneak Attack. Okay. Pretty interesting deck here. They have a really cool intersection of cards. Fable the Mirrorbreaker I always thought played pretty well with combo decks since they often have soul lands and they often have either redundant lands or combo pieces. So chapter 2 works pretty well as well. So we'll take Thoughtseize, Surgical. We gotta look out for Chalice of the Void as well. Take Red Blast. Take Consign. I highly doubt that they're playing Intuition. And Opposition Agent is a little slow anyways. Barraglyph is not as bad as you think, putting it off Show and Tell. It's really just the Death Touch. But yeah, we can cut Cling, most of the Lightning Bolts, if not all of them. I don't need this Mountain. Kolaghan's Command is also rather slow. I feel like something else usually comes in though. Price of Progress is pretty interesting. If the goal of the matchup is to just erase as fast as you can, you could consider all those Ancient Tombs, Mysterized Village. They play a lot of basics though. Maybe not as many as us. Maybe like 4 basics. I think I'm fine with this. This hand's a little weird, but I think we'll have to keep with this Thoughtseize. Pedal. We going right now? Just stock up. Who even knows what the play is if they just slam Show and Tell on turn 1? It might be put in Nimble Obstructionist. Okay, so what? Do I hold up Consign to Memory instead? I think I have to go for this Thoughtseize. Consign will still mostly work next turn. Oh, they are playing Intuition. Well, I'll take that, I guess. There's not really any point in taking one of the Omniscients. I wish I had a Surgical right now. Maybe next turn. It's interesting to see Intuition and Stock up next to each other. I feel like that's not super common. Thundering Falls will put a card on top. They drew Lotus Petal for turn. So their hand is City, Volcanic Island, Omniscience, Omniscience. We might be contending with an Omniscience next turn, which can cast another Omniscience. So, yeah. Be careful, I guess. Thing is, they won't have anything to do with the Omniscience afterwards. But it's usually pretty good, you know? Same with this thing, Sneak Attack. Ah, man, I should try to counter that. Or should I just ignore it? Put in Kaito, but then I can't hold up Consign. Yeah, I'll brainstorm right now. No luck. Alright, things just got quite a bit scarier. There's really no point in a Snap Thoughtseize either. Send it back. Their hand doesn't really do anything right now, but I mean, it probably will soon. City, pass. Okay. Let's snap Brainstorm. Guess I'll get an island. I don't know, they might have something weird like red black or yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. I hope they don't have something like Red Blast for this Snapcaster Mage. I want to get Kaito in. Brazen Borrower on Sneak Attack. Doesn't really go anywhere. No, it does not. Okay. Let's put back Kolgon's command. We shall load up on blue cards. Let's attack. Put in Kaito. We're holding up Consign here. Everything is purely reactive at this point. There's nothing I can draw that would make me want to hold up something, a different color of mana, you know? So let's just go ahead and activate that. So we're looking at more shots at Force of Will, pretty much. Do that. Regrettably, I'm at 15 right now as well, so... Okay, we miss on Force. It wasn't that likely anyways. Bid them both. Second Consign. It's almost good. Cunning Wish. So they can shared summons, right? Or wait, isn't that kind of a weird cost? Intuition. I think they got this one. Shouldn't have dropped below 15. Maybe they won't have 3 Emeralds. Okay, they're going for Atraxa. So I'll definitely consign the trigger, but they'll probably attack Kaito and undo a lot of hard work. Here it comes. Alright, consign that. Try and curb this card advantage. They have 1 unknown. Yep, there goes Kaito. Pretty good. And then they have 2 Omniscience in hand. Alright, Reanimate is not a bad draw for us, even though our hand is already very full. I'm gonna Ponder. Surgical Extraction. Red Blast. I guess I can just do the old blue removal spell here. Bounce Sneak Attack and Thoughtseize it. And then what? I guess I'll draw Red Blast the turn after. Petty Theft. Thoughtseize you. Yep. Although I wonder if extracting Sneak Attack is a better plan here. I mean, they lost a lot of their targets. There's 3 Atraxas in the graveyard. They're also pretty close to hardcasting Omniscience. Well, that's not exactly true. They're 3 mana short. But it's close enough. Play a Strix and then pass it back. I should make a land drop. Yep. Yeah, maybe I should extract Sneak Attack. And then I can Red Blast a Show and Tell. And they should have a hard time doing stuff. Double Cunning Wish. Let's see, yeah, there's 4 Show and Tells, no Eurekas. 3 Fable the Mirror Breaker, though. Gotta look out for those. But the deck should be pretty defanged at this point. Cunning Wish is an instant, so we gotta keep our wits about us. Take a land. Time for the slow grind. Now what's Cunning Wish gonna get? Let's let that resolve. Oh, force negation. Okay. They drew a land. Yeah, let's just keep adding to the board here, bit by bit. I mean, I could flash in Nimble Obstructionist for a 2-turn clock and just rely on these 3 cards for interaction. I do kind of like that, because I think they're a couple turns out from comboing. Edict. Not a bad one. Alright, let's see if this can hold the ground. I have faith. Fable does not do it, because all these creatures have flying. Alright, we got there. Very nice. We're doing pretty good so far. And shout out Harvey Dent, thank you for the support. Welcome back for round 3. Having a hard time squeezing these matches in, but I'm back from practice and let's do it. Opponent takes a mulligan. This hand is a little high on the curve, but if I end up pitching Nimble Obstructionist to force a will, then it'll just be like Baragoyf that I am curving out into. Undercity Sewers. This might be Rescaminator. They put a card on top. Rescaminator is famous for putting anything on top that's not a monster, since all their cards are really good. Another Force Will. I don't want to lose to Daze. I don't think it's super likely because I have 2 forces. But yeah, I'm just gonna... I don't want to turn on Daze. Nothing makes me more upset than having to force a Will a Daze. Underground Sea Pass. Interesting. Alright. Let's untap. Bowmasters is sweet. Yeah, I'll play Badlands here. Keeping Rescaminator off balance is very important, if that is indeed what I'm up against. Okay, even better. They're just going to expose some Bowmasters here. But there is some question whether I want to expose my Bowmasters to Daze. But if they go into combat with 3 mana up, I won't really have a choice, because Kaito is a problem. So if one of their cards is Kaito, if they have to Daze, that screws up Kaito anyways. So it doesn't become super important to fight over this. But there's always a next turn that they could mess with me. Bowmasters is pretty good against this deck anyways. I'll force once, but not twice. I also wonder why they didn't hardcast it though. It's all very interesting. It could end up with a big blowout. I know I just said a second ago how much I hate forcing Daze. They pitched Brainstorm. How important is this fight? It might be very important. I know one of their cards is a land. Let's do this. Now I'm like weirdly ahead. Alright, play Sewers. I'll keep Brainstorm. I think this is a tempo deck, but just in case it's not, that Cling to Dust was a nice draw. Thoughtseize. Resolves. They'll probably take Baragoyf, unfortunately. Indeed. So hard to say what they're up to. I'm gonna draw that Brainstorm, I think. I'm just not gonna have a lot of mana going forward. They're at 6th. Should I just Brainstorm right now too? Sure. What if I hit Kaito? Which I think is their last card. Oh my god, I did. Damn! When life is good, it's good. If this is the point they actually show me the Rescaminator, though, well, that would be sad. But yeah, they just scoop it up to that. I have a feeling their last card was Kaito. That play pattern of aggressively running out Orcish Bowmasters and forcing to protect it, it felt like a Kaito situation. but I'm not entirely sure. All the same, we do side pretty similarly. And embarrassingly, they have one of the best cards of all time against us, another Goyf. But Ethereal Forager, you know, probably not as good as Murktide Regent in this particular matchup. Although, maybe. Card advantage is key. But also, if they have like a Murktide Regent, the size of this Ethereal Forager is not really going to stack up. I think they'll try to fight me with Hydroblast. Although, we didn't show them a single red card, did we? I think I can trim a Lightning Bolt. Force a Will. I mean, it would be crazy if it did turn out to be Riskaminator and not blue-black tempo. But the play pattern was suggestive of blue-black tempo. Trim Barragoyf. Either way, they'll have Fatal Push, especially now that they saw the Barragoyf in my hand. Now I could cut a Narset as well. As long as all of my removal spells, -1 Lightning Bolt, are in. And then I don't hate Nile Spellbomb either. I can trim another Thoughtseize. And then, yeah, it's one of these 3 drops, I think. Difficult choice. Sometimes I even trim a land. That's mostly against Riskaminator, though, just because your margin for missing top decks is very thin. It's thin against this deck, too. Sure, I'll bring it back on the play. Swap it for a Force of Will. Yeah, this hand is pretty darn good. As long as they're not Riskaminator. Opponents get on 7. They even have a turn 1 play. That's not very surprising, actually, for this deck. It's Tamiyo. We've already got a problem. Too many lands. I think I should just Brainstorm right now, which feels really funny. But it gets around Bowmasters and potentially lets me hide some stuff as well. Sure. We'll hide Kaito. That turn 1 Brainstorm is like what people usually make fun of inexperienced Legacy players for doing. But there are reasons to do it right now. I swear. Alright. They have 2 for 1 dust after they invest 2 mana into that. And the game will probably go long enough for that to matter. So, yeah, not good. What can you do? Tamiyo's just messed up like that. It's the new Ragavan. Alright, so they're not adding Nethergoyf to the board, which is fantastic. I think I need to Edict this thing, which is super unfortunate. But I'm pretty sure it's just what needs to happen. I played the wrong land, sorry. Why did I do that? We'll never know. Okay, we dealt with Tamiyo. Folks, we did it. Another Sewers. Ditching a Daze. Yeah, I guess I would ditch that too. Lorien Revealed. That's a more attractive pitch spell than Ponder. I do want to cast Ponder. I don't think they have Daze. I think they would have dazed my Edict, because Daze gets worse the longer life continues. Yeah, let's shuffle. A second Force of Will. Interesting. I mean, I guess that means I can turn Lorien Revealed into a land drop. I think we just let that go. A second Tamiyo. Okay. I could get on board right now. We're going to be behind cards no matter what, I think. Play Bowmasters. Ping them. And then force the counter Bowmasters, I think. Fatal Push is fine. Another Edict. Let's see if I can take out this Tamiyo. Bowmasters. Ping. Go for the throat. What if I just force my way to victory? I have 2. And if they play something like Barragoyf, then I can just Edict instead. That seems pretty good. Trying to dodge Wasteland, I guess. Ooh, Wasteland. Eee. Bowmasters. Well, I have a 2/2. I don't think this is where the force goes. Good draw. We'll attack. No block. I could put Kaito in right now. And probably defend it. I wouldn't have Force of Will anymore. I don't know. It seems too value negative. I feel like this 2/2 is going to be pretty important. Unfortunately. Brainstorm. We would be in better shape right now if I'd played the right land and gotten a basic mountain instead of that volcanic island. Kind of crazy. Alright, I think we can expect Kaito here. And they'll probably... Oh, never mind. I thought they were going to suck back the Bowmasters. Reanimate Tamiyo. Oh, reanimate. I was not expecting that. Alright, let's Edict. So is this something between Riscaminator and Blue-Black Tempo? I'm gonna Surveil. Keep pretty much anything on top. Yep. Chaining Kaitos is strong. And then just charge in here. Ah, damn. I was really hoping they wouldn't. We're probably going to fall behind here. Though Tamiyo is incentivized to attack. So there's that. They're attacking with both. Draw a card. Oh my god. That's twice I've messed up now. Brainstorm. Yeah, I'm gonna let that go. Oh man, losing to Wasteland in this deck is pretty embarrassing, I gotta say. They did not activate Tamiyo though, that's nice. We'll be attacking that. Fatal Push. Force your push. So, yeah, we made a mistake, but they kind of made a big mistake too. It's kind of scary they didn't shuffle after that Brainstorm though. Like, what do they have? Bowmasters. Okay. I guess I'll push the Bowmasters. I get really punished by certain draws if I don't. Okay, we gotta do this. Do that. We need a card advantage. And a lot of it. Oh my god. I mean, yeah. If they did that correctly, that would have been bad. You have to name creature. And they just concede after that. We didn't deserve that. But it was also only game 2, so maybe game 3. My apologies to the opponent. You only make that mistake once, and you'll never forget ever again. But yeah, it's not a Planeswalker right now. It is a creature with loyalty abilities. So yeah, if they did Edict non-token creature, they would have really blown me out there. And it's not letting me draw my next card, but I pitched my other Kaito. I would have pretty much had to like run lands into From the Catacombs to stay in this, I think. I was at 7, they had a 2-power creature. It could have gone pretty bad, but we were really bailed out there. Cool. 3-0. Time to get match 4 underway here. On the play with a decent hand. I'll keep. I mean, there's a lot of situations where this won't be the right kind or adequate interaction, but 4 lands to 3 spells, it's a nice ratio. There's a lot of things I could do. If I lead on Badlands here, I can hold up Lightning Bolt or Cling to Dust. Lightning Bolt's rarely a turn 1 play, since Usually the decks you want to cast Lightning Bolt against have the potential to daze you. But there is that Pinnacle Emissary deck going around, so I don't play the bad lands. Opponent took 1 mulligan. It really takes the sting out of playing on the play. Basic Island, Ponder. Well, this could be a lot of things. Ponder will shuffle. No additional action. I'm gonna guess for Scamnator just because it's the most popular deck in the format right now. And that draw was not exceptionally great. Play as Bloodstained Mire. Send it back. If it happens to be Doomsday, which doesn't really want to get Basic Island unless they are defensively developing their mana since they're trying to cast a triple black spell. We don't really have the right kind of interaction for that. We have 1 bolt. Maybe we'll draw a second one. Bloodstained Mire. And then nothing. This looks a lot like the deck I faced last night. That was a good draw. I feel like I drew Bowmasters right at that point as well. And I was like, they might Bowmaster me. And then I drew Bowmasters. Am I doomed to live out the same match? Well, that checks out. Bending Entomb. Alright. That's all I needed to see. I know what I'm fighting right now. Let's pressure their life total. If they Bowmaster back, we're just slowly working through cards in hand. And I really don't want to run Baleful Strix into Bowmasters. I'd rather have those exposed. At the same time, like, if they cast a cantrip, I'm not going to cast Bowmasters. Because then they could just get an additional black source and then Entomb Reanimate. Seems like they already have an Entomb. Entomb is not really a card this deck ever doesn't want. Okay, Bowmaster's exposed. Excellent. At the cost of my own Bowmasters, which is not good. But we take what we can. Alright, Thought Sees You. Okay, they already did have an Entomb. I think I'll just take that. And if they want a Murktide, I can just bolt this Bowmasters. Oh no, I can't play Strix after that. Taking Entomb takes a lot of pressure off. These Brazen Borrowers are going to be tough. Actually, let's not take Entomb. I'll hold up Cling to Dust here. Take Murktide Regent. Play Sewers. In fact, I want them to extend into that. Yeah, I'll keep that. You bet I will. And then we attack. No block. Their life is worth a lot more than mine. Given the whole Reanimator thing. They put a card on top. I hope it's Reanimate. Underground Sea. They'll hit with both. Damn, I was really hoping they'd send it, because, like, there's not a lot of punishment for them to do so. Like, probably in their mind, I would just force. And that's a pretty solid exchange for them. Maybe they put Force of Will on top. I'm a little concerned they put more Bowmasters on top. But I suppose we can just get those out there. Kaito. That's pretty good. I wonder if I was supposed to make a land drop. Probably. There's the Entomb. I mean, if they topped Force of Will, I could be really punished for not holding up Nimble Obstructionist here. We'll see. Wasteland. Taking out my Undercity Sewers. I see, I see. Yeah, we let that go. I'll just Island Cycle this. Baragoyf. It's not bad. Keep on hitting. Oh, that's good. Now they can't clap back. I was worried they'd like flash in Brazen Borrower and I might have to tick up with Kaito. We'll be looking for Force of Will off this 0 activation. They flash in Bowmasters in response. That's some pressure off, because then they'd have to top deck either Daze or Reanimate, but not both. There we go. Bin Ponder, take Force. Slow and steady. Ponder's fine. Ponder shuffles. They're in a weird spot where, like, they probably want to make land drops, but can't fully afford to. Let's go ahead and Cling Atraxa. Force a Will. Thank God I found this one then. Let's Force pitch Nimble Obstructionist. Yeah, I think staying up in cards is pretty important. That leaves them with 0 cards. Brazen Borrower in the wings. And yeah, they feel pretty behind from there. Solid. Okay. Red Blast, Spellbomb, Fatal Push, Surgical. Surgical's not the greatest though, right? I talk about this a lot, how like they often really go off of their combo post side, but they'll be on the play. Like I could even trim a Force of Will and just keep the Surgicals, because plays that I would want to force are ones that could also Surgical. And then I don't have to sacrifice that much card disadvantage. Or sacrifice that much card advantage. I want to sacrifice card disadvantage. Baragloif out. Single Badlands out. Narset is not great. Ethereal Forager should be pretty good. I mean, Murktide Regent's scary, of course. The third Thoughtseize, I don't know. You kind of want them to play into your hand. You want to get that bump in card advantage from cards like Entomb. You want to exploit plays like that. But I think we can trim some number of Lightning Bolt. Is this how I want to play? Something like that. Forager should be tough for them to deal with. They don't play Red Blast. They can't hit it with Fatal Push. I guess the goal here is that even if this is attacking into a Murktide Regent, maybe it's returning something relevant on the way out. It does feel weird to leave stuff like this on the table. Maybe I should just take the 4th Force of Will and trim a Kaito or Ethereal Forager or a Lightning Bolt. Sure. Hand looks good. I'll keep. Ponder. Ponder not Tameo is pretty special. The goal here is to make land drops, so I'll probably just play Brainstorm on turn 1 if I don't have to cling. Can't play Ponder. Okay, well now it's a little less appealing to cast Brainstorm. Thoughtseize is cool, but yeah, we're still just hanging out. Sure, I'll take another Force of Will. Don't really want to get Wastelanded, but that will be like more cards down. They do have Wasteland. Well, that's not good. Might have to use my life total as a resource here. Just body a bunch of Bowmaster hits. I could also just force this, I don't know. There's something very appealing about that. But I could also, like, just ponder. Take a little bit of damage. Hold my Force of Will. I think they're doing this because they have a Daze. Yeah. Good enough. I don't get to hold up Cling, which is kind of a little bit of a problem, but I don't know. It could be worse. That's what we held the Force for. Okay, and no second Wasteland. Thank goodness for that. They put a card on top, though. Best draw is certainly a land. In the absence of that, I guess I can just try and get them with Bowmasters, or maybe I should just Thoughtseize. That would make more sense, I think. Explosives on 2. That's pretty acceptable. Oh, what a great draw. Okay, so yeah, let's thought. Well, yeah, thought seizing is only gonna get worse. Oh, there was no days. Well, I suppose I'll take Baraglyph and then just cast Bowmasters, see if they want to blow the explosives. Might have to force Murktide, which does not feel great. But they do that before a Brainstorm, I bet. I think Baraglyph is probably the hardest thing to answer here, ironically. Or at the very least, check. But yeah, they're not really anywhere near comboing. Do that. We're getting a lot of equity on the back of them casting the first Bowmasters here. Reanimate Bowmasters. It's tough that I have this Cling to Dust ready for that. But look at my hand, like I'm not beating it. We'll force. Yep. Ah, that's pretty big. If I top deck Kaito, it's a not super likely top deck, but it's possible. Do I just take this one? I could even like block with Bowmasters to kind of invalidate that engineered explosives. But I want them to do that before it turns on their Brainstorm. Yeah, I'll just block. Just do the normal thing. They got Voidwalker Brainstorm in hand. Tamiyo. I might save some life, but I think there are things I should do instead. There's Kaito. There's no land here. This is tough. What if land is next? I knew it. I just had this weird feeling. Okay. Push lines up with Voidwalker. Kaito will work through Murktide. Am I really putting back Cling to Dust? I guess so. I need Tamiyo to ninjutsu Kaito. Yeah. Doing things I never thought I would. Alright, your turn. Voidwalker is pretty awkward with explosives, so it does feel like they kind of need to blow the explosives before casting Voidwalker. Things are just a little screwy, you know? Please play Voidwalker. Okay, sweet. Fatal Push. Now we'll ninjutsu Kaito. I got a clue for my troubles. Let's hold up blue-red. Tap down Murktide, of course. And then ponder... Chaining Kaitos is so good. It's like incredibly good. But what if Brainstorm hits fire? It's also a mana investment. I think I'll just shovel. Yeah. Land drop is fine. See what this Brainstorm comes up with. Another Voidwalker. I think I can beat that. We'll see. At the very least, we're getting a lot of redraws. Cling. Okay. Something I could do is flip Tamiyo plus, and then Douthie Voidwalker's only hitting for 2. And then I'll have the option to tap down Murktide Regent next turn. Could see what I draw first. Might just get an answer here. That's Brainstorm. Okay, yeah, let's do that first. Shieldred's Edict. Okay, that's not quite right yet, but it's close. Because they can just sacrifice Murktide. That wouldn't be so bad, would it? I think I'd rather hold on to this Cling to Dust. Do that next turn. And I should try and beat Daze, I guess. What did I just put in the void? Brainstorm? I mean, they are brainstorm locked, so if that was the best thing they could do, they're gonna ponder. Nothing like living on the edge. Can't let that Murktide through. They don't shuffle. I'm assuming that means they found another threat, but hopefully they found Entomb Reanimate. Reanimate Bowmasters. Yeah, we'll cling my own Bowmasters. Do they just have to attack Tamiyo? No, they're attacking me. I'm very happy they're doing it. Alright. Before I do anything else, let's see if this works. Push. Okay, cool. Risky thing I could do right now is attack 0 if they flash in Bowmasters. Edict in response. Because Edict is not that great when there's a creature with stun counters hanging out. Seems like they might be F6'd. Yeah, we'll just do that. Sick. Ponder. Keep push. Alright, they did not threaten to reanimate after all that. I don't think it would have been good enough, honestly. Alright, nice. Wow. I guess I'll shoot for that 5-0, 10-0. Alright, folks, here we go. On the draw, against Flost, who plays a lot of Black Stompy and Eldrazi, so we might have seen our luck run out, and they're being a jerk, so this is great. Classic content here. This hand, I mean, I don't really know what I'm up against here, so maybe since they're already on tilt, they might make a lot of mistakes. I don't know. We'll see. Stalactite Stalker. That will be a little too big for Bowmasters to take on. Ethereal Forager. Alright. We'll just play Tamiyo here. Thought sees me. They don't have much in the way of choices. But yeah, they take Bowmasters, which makes sense. And this will trigger the Stalker. Do they have a land? They have a Snuff Out. They're at 13. It's not incredibly high life total. I could just play a Forger here. More Bowmasters. Let's hold those in case they play Bowmasters. I'm just gonna grab Volcanic Island. Or maybe Island. Because they might have Wasteland. That could be something they have. Sure. We'll race. Dang. Should have played Bowmasters. Not a good draw. Keep Bolt. Might swing the race. Or if I can bolt this Stalker, that'd be cool. But I'm not counting on it. Ooh, Nethergoyf. That will swing the race. I can see what I draw next turn. Just attack. Because if I draw Bowmasters, reanimate, you know, stuff like that. Or if they activate that fetch land. But I don't think they will. We'll see. No, they're not going to activate. What do I get? Another Bolt. See if this attack goes through. Tight. Yeah, we'll go for it. Please work. Going out on their own terms. Damn. Really putting me on the spot. Oh, man. This is kind of the same matchup as the first round. Let's take a couple Fatal Push from the Catacombs. Spell Bomb. Okay. Maybe they're coming around. Who knows? Side out a Thoughtseize, and then don't think we'll need Narset. Do I want any Thought Seizes? It's kind of hard to say. I wish I knew more of what they were up to, but I'm pretty sure traditionally they play like Black Stompy. We can probably expect like Opposition Agent, stuff like that. So if I was going to try and improve my top decks a little bit, I think the land to cut would be a fetch land. But maybe I don't need to do that. Oh, we might get a little Deus Ex Machina here. Maybe I can convince them to leave. Nah. All my trophies have been real. Yeah, let's get the second Thoughtseize out of here, and then... Geez, I don't know. How about a Kaito? Or how about a Spellbomb? No, I'll keep a Spellbomb. Will I? Spellbomb doesn't trade for any of their cards. Like, it helps keep Nethergoyf small, but it's just like, I don't know. Doesn't feel like the right thing. Yeah, this hand's good. Lost says they watched a video of mine and it wasn't bad. I'll take it. Thoughtseize me. Hand's not super Thoughtseizable. Taking Fatal Push. Alright. Bolt, not a bad draw. I think if I just ponder into some lands, I'll be in good shape. Yeah. Fatal Push without Revolt is a little sketch. And having another island, like Wasteland, is a concern, of course. Bobble. Looking at my top card, it is a Fatal Push. I forgot about the Bobble last game. Southie Voidwalker, you got it. Alright. I think I need to start moving through my deck. So there's something to be said for playing Strix, because if they do Wasteland me, I'm not left with anything castable. But also, like, I could just wait to see if they Wasteland me, because if they do, I really need to hit this with a Fatal Push or a Bolt. They will wisely attack first, get that damage in. Now they'll Thoughtseize. I have 2 removal spells. Yeah, guess I'll let it go. Taking push again, they do have Wasteland. Not good. Make a red. And they have Nethergoyf. Yeah. Scary stuff. I'm drawing another Baleful Strix. Send it back. 2 cards left over there. Strix is a solid trade. Oh, Plague Engineer. Yeah, that's not good. They put that on Bird. I'll have to deal with Plague Engineer first. I don't have long to figure this out. But I do have Bowmasters. Got 1 card left. Thoughtseize. We're playing Bowmasters. And I'll put a damage on them or Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer. Take and reanimate. I will block. Last card's a land. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Kaito. Oh, damn. Well, maybe they'll attack with both. I should probably cycle this Strix. And then I guess I'll hold that in my hand. Then I can hardcast. This is sketch. Spinning Stalactite Stalker. No block. I'll need to block Plague Engineer with Orcish Bowmasters. Play Kaito. Tap down the Nethergoyf. Pass the turn. See if I can untap with Kaito. We'll block. Barragoyf. Lightning Bolt. Alright, Bolt Plague Engineer. Play Strix. Force of Will is so good. Tick up. No attack. Stalker. Has Menace, but it's pretty small. That's a tough one. I don't think their last card's relevant. I think I forced literally anything here. Wasteland my volcanic island. No attack. Oh, it's precarious. Oh man. That card would be good. Tap down your Baraglyph. Hit for 4. It's close. Attacking Kaito, yeah, we'll block. I think they'll escape it, though. They have the adequate card types. It is a 3/4. Oh, they have another one. Yeah, that should do it. Damn. Taking it to game 3. Tough one. Don't think we change anything. Maybe if I had fetched a little differently and was able to cast from the Catacombs at that point, I think it could have gone a little better. The disruption went pretty well. I wonder if Spellbomb actually would have done it for me there. Maybe I was supposed to have Spellbomb. It's so hard to say sometimes. But yeah, maybe trade those out. Yes, keep that. They're also good on 7. We'll start with sewers. Keep the land. Man, if Forager can buy back all these spells, just imagine it. They're looking at their own cards, so I think they have a fetch land. And they don't want the card they looked at. Not enough to give up on a Thoughtseize anyways. Taking Snapcaster Mage. I don't have a threat down yet. Start filling up the graveyard for Forager. And yeah, let's hide Edict on top. Take some Bowmasters. Alright. Send it back. If I can unload Bolt and Edict and put it under Forager, well, that would be some card advantage. They have Wasteland. Baraglyph. I'll Edict that. There's a Ponder on top of my deck. Edict there. The land is very good. Should I put a Bolt under there too? I think I'm getting too greedy. Go like that. I'll be freaking stoked if I get 1 card back. Snuff out. Seems about right. Huge Netherglyph. Yep. 3 cards left over there. Ooh, Spellbomb. So I could take this Netherglyph out if I just shoot it and then Spellbomb them, but I think I'm going to use my life total as a resource just a little bit. Because I do want to get a card off the Spellbomb. It doesn't really work though. I'd have to draw another black source. If they do something like play Stalactite Stalker out. Oh, Thoughtseize. Yeah, I kind of want the pressure. Slash blockers. They'll take a Bolt. And let their graveyard there. Unfortunately, can't draw. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. That's a good one. See if we can burn them out. Plague Engineer. Pretty good. I think I can race though. Got Snapcaster Mage. Deal 2 there. If I can just rip a red source off the top, we can Bolt Snap Bolt. No. I mean, Bowmasters can deal 1 damage though. The ETB will still happen even though yeah, I'll just be gone. Baraglyph. Alright, play Snapcaster Mage. Target Bolt. Bolt there. Untap. We did it! Jeez, that was close. Honestly, like, I do get a little flustered, I feel like, when I play against aggressive players, but this was kind of the first time I just took a deep breath and really looked at what was going on, and I was like, okay, I just need to stop their creatures, and then I think I'm in good shape. But even online, like, the energy you bring as a player has a big effect on the game. So yeah, that was cool. I mean, Ethereal Forager, if you think of it more like Vexing Devil in that last game, it did cause my opponent to take 4 damage, and that was super important because we ended up burning them out. I'm pretty impressed with the card. I think it warrants more testing, but I think it was more impressive than Consult the Star Charts. Maybe more important than Murktide Regent, too. Murktide would have gotten snuffed out all the same. I think card advantage is super important. I think keeping up in cards with Riskaminator is difficult. Pretty much any matchup. Whenever people say Grixis Control is good at grinding, I'm like, really? That's never been my experience. I feel like we're really on that fine margin as a control deck. There's like nothing excess because we're at like perfect efficiency, but we're at no less than control because we're defying failure. And it's a really hard line to walk. Ethereal Forager might be a little more in tune with what we're after than Murktide Regent. It's just the stats. Like, if Lightning Bolt was prevalent in the format again, it wouldn't be that good. At the same time, though, you'd probably side this out against Delver in the first place because of Red Blast and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of Ethereal Forager against the blue-black metagame. And I'm sorry I couldn't pull off a 5-0, 10-0. I think I probably didn't fetch very effectively in the second game of the finals there, but it was almost a 5-0, 10-0, and that's cool. I know a lot of people are saying Control is unplayable or dead in Legacy. I just don't think that's true. I don't think it has ever been true. And hopefully this series every Friday is testament as to why I don't think that's true at all. So yeah, if you'd like to join me on the journey, Eternal Weekend's coming up. Check out the Patreon, submit a donation list, whatever you want to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, I'm getting emotional. But yeah, I love this deck. I think you have to love it a little bit to want to dive in with it, because the games are not easy, but they're so rewarding. And I'll leave it there. Take care. I'll see you next time.